work inside. Tough to get that shot over a big defender like that.
No, that takes skill and creativity, Steve, particularly on the release to make sure he doesn't get a hand on it.
Beal gets a wide open look. Here's Gortat. And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over.
Well, he looks like he wants to toy around with some of their sets and matchups here.
You know, I don't think you can afford to go through a whole game doing the same thing over and over, and you have to be able to adjust on the fly, just like he's doing here.
Houston making some changes. Terrence Jones is checked in for Smith. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Jason Terry. They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
The turnovers keep coming. They're piling up. It's been a very sloppy start to the game for them, but you know what? They're still in control, in the driver's seat right now.
They are, but they should be up a lot more. This game should be all sewn up if they can just handle the ball.
Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
No good from Howard.
You know, Dwight Howard had started 6 straight All-Star games until last season. The new balloting system with 2 backcourt players and 3 frontcourt players resulted in Blake Griffin and Kevin Love in the starting lineup. Howard felt slighted. He thinks that centers are kind of getting the short end of the stick here.
He only passes to Harden. No luck. Excellent D there from Pierce.
He's given them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
And Sessions kicks to Pierce. The dish to Gortat. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
You know, for a guy his size, he doesn't play above the rim very often like he did on that slam.
Still got some power behind him, though.
Yeah, I mean, you let him get in close like that, he'll throw one down hard on you.
It's Harden with the drive. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
What a play. The hoop plus the harm.
Excellent concentration on the finish. That's big time.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Gortat. Humphries comes in for Nene. Porter's checked in for Pierce. And it's Bynum in for Beal. That's blocked. Here's Ariza. The Rockets again can't hit.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
Nice ball movement by Washington. Here's Bynum. And Jones pulls it down. Rockets trailed by 11. Got a piece of it. Ariza dishes to Harden. Fires at the elbow. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Harden's got 12 in the game. Here's Bynum. There's the pick. Terrific design on the pick play. He lays it in. And the Wizards lead by 11.
No way you can get back into the game if you continue to give up layups.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Wizards lead by 11. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Wizards leading by 11. Chris Humphries is out there with Porter. That's Bynum. Then it's Kevin Seraphin. And it's Wall in at the point guard. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. Deflects the pass. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. Howard kicks to Harden. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. 14 points for James Harden.
Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
Bynum the pass to Wall. Rejected by Howard. And they get it back. 6 to shoot. Bynum drives in. No one near Wall as he lets it go. Again, the miss by Wall. Rockets trailed by 12. And James Harden good for 3.
This guy will really make you pay if you leave him enough room outside.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Gortat's checked in for Kevin Seraphin. Nene comes in for Chris Humphries. Beers is checked in for Otto Porter Jr. And Bradley Beal subbed in for Will Bynum. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Yes, Kevin, Randy Whitman had some words for his team over the break. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Wizards.
I thought we might see a little defensive adjustment at halftime, but the fast break continues to be effective.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively, and they've been turning those turnovers into points.
And Wall. Here we go now.
John Wall is becoming very efficient running the pick and roll. He's got a nice pull-up from the right elbow if the defender decides to sag off or go under the screen, and if they play up on it, he can blow right by him. So because of his finishing ability, that's a tough cover.
And so John Wall nails both of them.
We've seen John Wall handling his business. He's got 14 points and also 3 steals. He's given them a lot with his passing and with his defensive work.
Well, he's been so active on the court at both ends and really playing a nice game.
And the Rockets making a change here. Terry's checked in. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. The 3 from Harden. Rebound, Washington. Gortat's got rebound number 15 here tonight. And Wall has some good big men to work with running that pick and roll. Nene, very mobile. Steve, a great finisher.
Yeah, and of course, Marcin Gortat spent a couple of years running the pick and roll with Steve Nash in Phoenix. So, you know, he's had some pointers for Wall, too. All in all, you love to see the chemistry that has developed between all those players. Boy, they've really dominated on the glass. And, of course, they've done a lot of good things here tonight, but the rebounds have played a major factor.
Hey, Steve, you know rebounding always one of the key barometers in determining the victor.
Beal gets a wide open look. And Jones pulls it down. Rockets trailed by 12. Terry, that's a 2. They get it back. Howard can't hit.
Seems like he's gotten every single rebound today.
Glass eating at its finest. I mean, you're not going to see a guy with 20-plus boards too often. That's an impressive number.
Here's Wall. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Wall's got the lead up to 14 now for the Wizards. Harden dishes to Terry. Here's Howard. Gortat comes up with the rebound.
That's an easy shot there. That's a shot that he should make more often than not.
Gortat with the screen on Howard. It's Wall with the drive. Feeds it to Beal. And the foul on Jason Terry. That's his first foul.
As good as the Wizards season was last year, they still had trouble with teams from the West. In fact, only 11 wins in 30 games for them last season.
Washington calls timeout. And a lot of teams out in the East struggle with the West, but it's an area where, Clark, the elite East teams perform better than 11 wins.
Yeah, and if Washington wants to take that next step of getting to be a top 3 team in the East, they've got to be a lot tougher against the West, and something around the 500 mark in terms of wins would get them there.
Nene setting the pick for Wall. From beyond the arc. Rebounded by Howard. Howard's got 11 rebounds in the game.
Boy, they needed that last rebound. They haven't done well on the boards overall, but that one was huge.
Still fighting for the win here. Gord's out with his screen on Terry. And Beal kicks to Pierce. Here's Gortat. Tries yet again. Nene. And at last, they get one to fall.
They have to box out better than that. I mean, that putback is just another example of the difference between these two teams today.
Well, he's building a house with those bricks. I mean, one reason is he keeps trying to force it up when he's defended well. Move the ball, share the sugar.
And he gets it to go. That's 29 points here for Beal.
Well, that just adds to what's probably an already insurmountable lead. I think they'll be walking out of here with a pretty easy victory.
Steve, I think that's a given.
Well, tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance an impressive win for Washington.
And it may be a comfortable win for him, Steve, and in the end, but, you know, they had to weather a few storms along the way, Clark, and that's all part of the story.
That's right, Kevin. I mean, this is by no means a runaway that it might appear to have been. I mean, it was a scrappy performance all the way through.
And you have to look back at this and see what a huge game it's been for Bradley Beal. He was extremely efficient offensively, getting looks, knocking down big shots all game long.
Pierce kicks to Wall. Unloads. Good as the jump shot falls. And the Wizards lead by 18.
They certainly haven't let these fans down tonight. It's been a fun night to be in the building.
It has been. I mean, the atmosphere has been great, and no doubt that helped with the winning effort.
Nice shot by Terry.
Looked like there was a little confusion there as to who was supposed to be guarding him.
Here's Wall. The kick out to Pierce. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And yes, sir, that one drops.
Well, that puts the nail in the coffin.
A clinic in terms of how to play with the lead right there.
The wide open look here for Terry. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time.
It's interesting. They're like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got energy.
You know, it's not going to change anything, though, other than to make their losing margin a little more respectable.
Howard with it. Lets the three fly. Harden's shot is off.
Boy, and that is a bunch of rebounds for a player who's not the biggest guy out there.
And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to